I figured it out all on my own already.
Is she drunk?
Wait. Well, what I have realized with my daughter after I dragged her across the counter, when you introduce kind of that physical energy, it changes things.
Don't come over here.
After you did drag her across the table, like it was a WWE wrestling match.
Yeah. No, this happened at like, it was like 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Damn,
this was in the afternoon.
The sun was out?
So this happened, and immediately
she gets her energy from the sun. She's a plant.
Clearly, I'm an earth sign, so I get my energy from above.
Shout out to the plant.
So see,
Just brisk play.
I'm a fire sign, so I'm getting energy from this heat. You feel me? Pause.
so and this is something I never do because I think we're kind of like this in the same way. As a single mom, I got this shit.
Yeah.
I got it. I ain't calling her dad. You can. I'll die starving on the road before I call her dad.
Facts.
So I'm like,
facts.
You know what?
Facts.
I'm all the way
the dumbest
up
shit
here.
ever.
Say it again.
That's the dumbest shit ever.
Hey Jay, let her rock out for a little bit. We could digest that. We could digest that later. Let her rock out. Go ahead, finish the story.
Okay.
Finish the story.
I'ma die on the side of the road before I call your dad to help.
Because I'm gonna tell you why.
It's kind of wild, but go ahead.
Stop. That's your ego. That's your ego. You're not in it for the kid. You're in it for your ego. You're not even looking after your kid. It's all your ego. And if you think like that about the baby dad, I don't even know what you're saying about the baby dad to the kid. But we don't know about that, so we're not going to go on that. But that's your ego.
Well, wait.
That's not you being a mother. That's you being an egotistical bitch. That's what it is.
Let's hear
you
why.
Bitch.
Let's hear why. He might be a convict in prison. We don't know. Let's hear why. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Preach does it.
Well, hold on.
I'm gonna let my sister take this one.
You've been holding that shit down from the start to the beginning, and you've been setting and implementing every seed that child has in them without the help of the other. I don't need to call you for nothing.
So,
period.
I say respectfully, and that actually gives me the alley-oop for my question.
Okay,
sure.
I don't know the relationship between you and her dad. So when you say I would die on the side of the road,
a group of y'all and how these dads operate, because it's not just us.
Respect.
Okay, it's a large percentage. It's a large percentage of women who has to take on that whole package.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Without the other party of by choice.
We love
not
them.
doing what the fuck they want to do.
Matt, no, that's not even joking like that. Matt
Yeah.
love for him. My mom's was a single mom. So I say that because when you introduce dad, I'm assuming that he's in her life. So when you say that I would die
to a degree.
on the
It's
side,
always to a degree.
See, I don't know that though.
Because men get a lot of choices, and I don't think we want to talk about that. But it's always to a degree.
Okay, no,
I agree with that too.
This is the thing. This is the thing.
I agree with that too.
We haven't heard her take, so press play.
Yo, why are you looking at me all mad and shit?
Press
Yeah, no. Don't look at me all upset. Give that energy to her. Don't give it to me.
Oh, it's coming.
Okay, but you give me that energy. It's weird, bro.
Press play. Okay, we're just gonna stay here.
Yeah.
That's just ego.
Yeah, because it is.
You being a egotistical
Yeah,
bitch.
me and her getting her energy from the sun. Yeah. Earth signs, nigga. It's Taurus, baby. Taurus seasons.
Earth sign.
You fucking burning sun rays through the side of my head. Chill, nigga.
You hot?
What? Pause.
Yeah.
If you're a parent, how you gonna tell me I can't this weekend, next weekend?
Because parents don't do that.
Listen, I'm not here to.
It's every weekend.
I'm not.
Every 365, every Monday through Saturday, Sunday. It's every day, 24/7, 365. It ain't not this weekend. I can't.
I'm gonna let y'all listen. I'm gonna let y'all get y'all. Listen,
Most like I'm gonna say out of this.
all I'm.
He's so
He's trained. He's given trained.
All I'm
He's
saying.
well trained. He's well trained. Yeah,
All I'm saying is I don't.
You just sitting there smiling while women say you're well trained? What is this podcast, bro? Nigga, that couldn't be me. Did this man just sit there and smile while they said this man's well trained? Disgusting.
Feel them tread now. Yeah. Shonda Paul. What's good, my people? I got a confession to make. Yeah, I have kind of a phobia of not smelling good. And I got a lot of fragrances at home. And I know what you're saying. The fragrance world and the perfume world is a hard world to dig into because so many choices. What do we do? What do I choose from? I got the thing for you. Scentbird. What is Scentbird? It's a subscription-based company that sends you samples of perfume. You get a fraction of a bottle, you pay the fraction of a price. Cute little samples like these right here. It's really simple to use. You just have to roll it out and spritz it out and you're good to go. You see, you can choose different fragrance. Oh, this one is good. What is that? I think it's Man by Mercedes. Yeah, that's Man by Mercedes Benz. Anyways, you choose all these fragrances and then you can stop your subscription whenever you want. Click on the link below right now and get your 55% by using ABBA Preach 4 and get on Scentbird today. What do you have to lose?
What I'm saying is I don't know the situation between y'all relationship.
Yeah,
I can't speak on this man because I don't know him and I would never do that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is when you
it's
said
not personal.
It's not personal.
It's just
when you said
unfortunately it's generational.
No, you said it's not personal, but I'm sure the nigga that's watching this, that's the dad, is taking it very personal.
Let me answer that question.
Come on, what this is.
So I'll finish that story. So I realized that, obviously I done dragged her across the floor. She's crying, the dog crying. Like it's just
call your daddy there.
But I realized that I was here and not able to, fully think through, be rational, calm. This is a good time to tag team because I'm here. Yeah. And I'm literally shaking. I'm stuttering. I'm spitting. I knocked her over. Like,
you wildin' out.
Yeah. We here. So this is a good time to tag team my partner.
Yeah.
Damn.
Keep going. I got ask you a question for Jade.
So I said, Jade, my daughter, well, whatever, we already said her name, Jade. I said, call daddy right now. And this is one thing we do. Yeah. I do call him daddy. He calls me mommy. So I said, call daddy right now. So she called daddy. As soon as he picked up, she's like,
I swear to God.
Mommy dragged me across.
All right, baby. What the fuck you do?
Mommy. He said, Dad's get on the phone. Get on the phone. So he gets on the phone with me. He said, what happened? I told him what happened. He said, take a breath, which I appreciated because I did need to
calm down.
Woosah. And he said, what happened? I told him what happened. And he said, y'all both in there. Y'all both women. You're going to get into this little situation. But take a breath. Ooh. Remember, she's still a child. She still is learning lessons.
Sound like
let me talk to her. So then I gave the phone.
Nobody
said that.
I mean, if you had to read between the lines a couple seconds ago,
I never met him.
Maybe it seemed like the nigga.
I think that's the
maybe
problem.
He a good father, maybe not a good nigga.
No, though, a few seconds away before y'all made it seem like.
Hey, I think I dropped the gem.
You didn't drop a gem, dude. You're a fucking goober. Maybe he's a good dad. He's not a good nigga, but you'll still call him to be able to reconcile situations. And lean on him for advice in regards to how to handle parenting and even just your own fucking hyperventilation. What are y'all talking about? This dude, is he fucking one of these women? Because he's brown nosing so hard. They out here talking about he well trained. He do seem like a well trained Labrador. Am I crazy? There's a lot of dysfunction right here. Am I crazy?
Well, it's hard to follow because one is always interjecting, which.
Basically, her and her daughter got into a tussle.
Yeah, I understand. what the fuck that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's hard to follow because one is always interjecting.
Well, first off, you got the black woman being like,
that's what I'm the back vocal artist.
Tell him, sis, it's generational.
Shoe up, like she's do up. That's her. Okay. So you know what I mean? So she's always shoobity whoop bop, interjecting and shit. So, and then after that, like, so I get very disinterested when I get that it happens. More than that, I'm like, so what was your point? You say you would die on you said, you know what? I'll take back what I said. No, it's not ego. and you're not egotistical, you a damn liar. You want to make it look like you wouldn't call him. That's what the fuck you just did, though.
Why would she lie, though?
Because the ego.
Yeah! I'm so proud of you for getting back to your original point, nigga.
No, but I'm not. It's not. It's ego, but it's not ego the same way I said it was ego.
Ooh.
It's a different type of ego. Ego's still there, but it's not how I first intended it. She's not a bad mother. Yeah. She's not a bad mother. She's not just not here for the. She's there for you. You're there for your daughter. You are. But you want to claim that you got this shit so much, and you see, like your ad-lib singer was saying, it's 365, 7 days a week, 24/7, blah, 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 blah. But in reality, it's not. Because you do call him. But you're going to say, nah, I would never call him because I don't need... You do call him. Emotionally, you do call him. You just did. Call your dad. For your daughter to talk to her dad, that's him helping you. So you do call him. You make it look like you don't call him, and you would never get caught dead calling him for help. That's a lie. That's a whole ass lie.
Because literally 30 seconds later, you did call.
Sometimes it's perspective.
Wait.
It's not a picture. It's the truth.
Hey, Sade.
And the thing is, I don't think people understand that.
I think I just dropped the gym.
What's the gym?
I said he might be a good father, but not a good nigga.
And that's how we have it. Period.
That don't got shit to do with you.
So then he said, okay.
That ain't none of your business. What we bringing up?
No. You be a horrible nigga, but like, good for your kid, though.
Bro, exactly. Right, and that's all that matters.
Let me tell you.
So if he's a bad nigga and a good father, then you should call him. That ain't got nothing to do with raising a kid. Take this one.
This man really thought he dropped a gem. If he's a good father, then if you're in a dire situation, you call him because he'll help you because he's a good father and he wants his mother to be around. That's it. That's all there is. That's all there is.
No, I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, wait, hold on, Sade. When we talked about when you said, your comment is asinine or stupid, whatever you said about if I was on the side of the road, I wouldn't call him, right?
Yeah. You said you would die on the side of the road before I call him. I said it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Because
but clearly he's a good father.
Because to me, I figured it out all on my own already.
Is she drunk?
I figured it out all on my own already, but I called him in a moment of crisis because I needed to hear some words from him.
Is she drunk?
Hey, man, listen. You know what? We're going to get to her in a minute.
And for me, who's had this child on my back for 11 going on 12, because you're pregnant for a year. So 12 years.
Okay.
Where we have been down. We've lived here. We've eaten this. We've done that. I've had to rob Peter to pay Paul to get this. I take my daughter out of the country every year for her birthday. We live in a house. We got a dog. I drive a Lexus. Like
I met Jasmine. She was living in the trap.
No,
what I said
doesn't.
It was a trap.
Wait. That's not getting fucked up. What I said doesn't take away from your motherhood at all.
No,
but
but it matters with the thinking, and I think that's where.
And I think that's the difference. And that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It feels like to me. And again, I had to talk to my mother about this and realize what it was. And I just realized, I haven't had that amount of growth yet.
Yeah.
It is,
I respect
to your point, maybe it's a growth. Maybe it's an ego. Maybe it's a whatever.
I fuck with that.
But to what I said, I would rather die on the side of the road than ask that nigga
So let me ask
shit.
you.
Okay.
No, keep playing because we're about to get we're about to get to her in a minute. That's what you said.
We heard her reason.
We haven't heard shit. She haven't said shit.
Preacher Neil did earlier. Yeah, he will have a dead to rights. If you would rather die of pride than call the father of your child, leaving your child without their mother, you're shitty at your job. People say this, my child comes first. My child comes first. All right, then call the dad. I'd rather kill my... Really? What happens if the child comes first? Hey, man, listen. One can both do two things at the same time. Recognize that you do a lot of the labor, that there's maybe an unfair disposition of the labor, and recognize that like that's bullshit, okay? Two, recognize that your perspective on this is incredibly toxic. And I can only imagine how it permeates your child, the way that you talk. Unbelievable. And the way the dude on the other side is brown-nosing for these women, the way the other girl is like just high-fiving that dysfunction, that's the reason why she probably don't want to learn. The first time she has any introspection about it is when the guy says it's the dumbest thing I ever heard. But her whole life, she heard other women say, yes, queen, you right, bitch. We got this. Ladies only. We don't need these niggas. Well, me, new you, the new year, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. What are you talking about? This is all dysfunction. You got people who are hyper dysfunctional on a mic talking crazy about family structures.
But sometimes the dysfunction is their normal.
You out here fighting with your child. Bro, these people are weird, bro. These people are weird.
Just dysfunctional. But when you're raised by dysfunctional, that's your normal. That's what you know.
These people
that's what you know.
Weird, bro.
And mind you, you said a point earlier on. I take her to the country. I got a Lexus. I got this. I got that. We got a dog, whatever, cable, shit, this, that, knick-knack, patty whack, give a dog a bone. You can still be dysfunctional.
And none of that.
I've known the richest motherfuckers in the world.
Yep.
I've known some of the richest motherfuckers in the world. They didn't miss anything technically. Broken. Fucking broken.
Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like, when do you guys trust the step parent in making the decisions for your child?
So,
well, what I will say is,
start.
it's not just that I carried this child for 9 months. Like, I know this child.
It's more than the carrying.
Well, you know, one thing that parents make a big mistake of is thinking that they always know best. Right? And so they have this infallibility that makes them make extremely poor decisions, traumatizing their kids into their late adulthood. And that's why a lot of these kids come out having a tremendous amount of resentment for their parents. The ego on them and their inability to look at themselves and recognize that they fucked some things up is what drives a lot of the relationships apart. And I thank God every single day that my mom has had the foresight to learn from her mistake, even in her older years, to apologize for some of the behavior that she did, because a lot of it was inexcusable. Right? And I respect her more for it. This ego that a lot of parents have, thinking they know everything and that they're infallible, is what makes a lot of their kids resent them and have traumatic experiences.
Mama knows best.
Not always. Not always. Unfortunately, not always. And that's not a knock against her. She can't know best. It's okay to be vulnerable in that sense. You can't be perfect. And trying oftentimes leads to bad outcomes.
There's some people out there, you're going to argue with them some shit, and their point... Their argument is going to be, yes, but I'm her mother. Yes, but I'm his father. Well, it doesn't change the fact that what you just said was incredibly stupid. Doesn't change anything of that. But whatever.
Hey, you know what?
What?
That's why a lot of motherfuckers go to therapy.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the big reasons why people go to therapy.
Oh, yeah.
People think they know more than they actually do and walk through life like they shit don't stink, not recognizing, bitch, you stinking up the whole joint. When we rock in the club, that's you we smell. That's your ass. You out here looking like, oh, somebody shat out here. Bitch, you the shit. And not in a good way.
You're shit.
No, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because a lot of parents try to turn their kids around the other. A lot of parents be saying crazy things about the other parent that's generally undeserving because they got a problem with them, not recognizing that their own personal biases are coming between their child's well-being and their parents' relationship. You always say, like, the child comes first. Dad comes in. Fuck that nigga. Fuck my kid, because my feelings come first.
Ego.
That's what y'all doing.
Ego.
But you won't admit it. I can do all bad by myself. Okay.
Ego.
Okay.
I'm making back vocal with
Hey, man. Hey, man. Listen, you know, oftentimes we always talk about the systemic issues when it comes to a lot of this stuff. But a lot of this shit comes down to the individuals and how they handle their relationships.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And you know what? The fact that you talked to your mom and you had reflection and you still came to that same conclusion probably leads me to believe that this shit is generational.
What you mean? Her mama knows best.
The same way she knows best. And she out here on this podcast spouting out bullshit while she got a kid. Now she what, in her 30s? Crazy. Dysfunction at its highest level. But I digress. Maybe we saw it wrong. Maybe you guys see it differently. Let us know in the comments below.